Drop my little knife. Okay, so I'm back. I went outside. I glued all these guys together. Or what I did is basically I ran glue along each of these sides of one half of the ones I cut out. I left them pinned while I did it because it's a little easier to glue them all at the same time. That way, at least I found. And let me show you how I put them together. This is the way I start all these things that I build, and it's probably really well known to anybody that's done this before how this works, but I'll just reiterate it just in case you need to see it again. So I have 8 of these wedges, and I put the contact cement on about 5 minutes ago, and it's tacky now, maybe a little too dry, I'm not sure, but when it gets tacky you can just push them together, and you do both ends. And you can apply more glue, but unfortunately you can't unglue, so you can't push it back out if you pinch it too much, so you got to be careful. So, and it doesn't really have to be that neat at this stage. I don't spend a lot of time on my my gluing until I get to the very last, the final build pieces. But it's good practice. And this might be too big for his head. In fact, I'm sure it is. So I may make a smaller one for his head. Yeah, I think I let it dry just a little too long because it's not quite as sticky as it usually is. Okay, so I think I need to put a little bit more glue on here. And for that, I'll do that on camera. I always think it's funny that I put this paper down, when 2 layers below this is paper. So I put paper down on my desk to protect that, and then I put a cutting mat to put that on to cut on, and then I have the Plastizote on there to pin into, and then I protect everything else with another piece of paper. Hopefully the sound is terrible, but please forgive me. I'd rather not die. There's already one layer on here,
I think if it hadn't been quite as dry of a day, um, or if I had started filming again a little earlier, I probably wouldn't have to do this. Okay. Let that dry for a second. I don't usually like to glue.
I don't usually like to glue in the house. Number one, because it's a hassle, but also because I don't like exposing my dog to these fumes either. I have all the windows open, so it should be out of here pretty quick. Okay. So, see how dry it is? Because it's already pretty much ready to go. So I'm just going to and I'm trying not to compress it so much that it ends up collapsing the glue. Like you'll end up with a seam that's puckered in. Not like that one, but if you do it too much. But okay, so now I've got kind of a roughly a sphere, which that's basically what I would start with. I do think that I need to make a new pattern that's smaller, because if this is the top of his head, his head's going to be giant. So I want something that's maybe like 2/3 the size of that. I'll use this one to make his jowls, I'm pretty sure. But so I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so this is a piece of file folder. And here's my handy dandy wedge pattern that I'd use to make that other one. So I'm going to basically line it up on the fold here. Try and keep it straight. Or you could put this in a copy machine and take it down to like 80%. But this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, so now I've got this little version of it. This might be too little. Yeah, I think that's too little. Okay, I'm going to try that again. I have a lot of these file folders that I end up. I bought some, and then I ended up finding some next door in the setup for the trash, and so I use a lot of. Basically, they were used, but they weren't ruined. So I use a lot of those. I've actually in the last 3 years I've pretty much blown through all those ones that I found about by the dumpster. That one may not be small enough. That looks about the same size. I just know I need it to be small. Okay, let's cut that out. Okay, so that looks about right. That's gonna be about the size of his head. Do that. Okay. You know what? What I do? No. I'll do it the right way. I was going to just cut a wedge off of it, or cut down all those ones I just made, because I did make 8 of them. But I decided I will probably use those full-size ones for something else. Let's see. This is so unruly. Let's not cut through it. Okay. I think I can get away with just half of these, half of one of these little things, because my plan is to just graft this onto use this as the bottom, use this the bigger one for the bottom, and then kind of graft this onto it. Okay, I'm gonna go cut and glue, and I'll be back.